dear audience. Hope you would be fine. In this short video, we would be talking about the seven C's of communication. Usually, students ask the question about interviews as well. Means what have to we act as in our interview, and even these are very much necessary in the communication model as well for the students of linguistics as well. These are very much important. So usually we teach in the courses of communication studies and the communication skills. So we would be making recounting those seven C's which one need to keep in mind while making the communication to in everyday communication as well. As you know that communication is necessarily the basically the image of a person in our social communication model. So the following are the seven C's which one must clear and should practice in his communication as well. Clear the one C, seven out of these seven C's, the one is clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, and then the courteous one. From the clear means that your message should be in the clear words. Your objective should be clear, and you should have to avoid the complex words and the phrases. If you fails in communicating the message in the clear sense, it is not the fault of your audience, but it is the fault of the speaker, that he is unable to communicate his message in the clear sense. So once you are communicating, you are a teacher, you are a student, or you are on an interview, that you should be very much clear in your message, conveying your message. If you are not going to bring the clarity in your talk, for example, I have met a lot of students who try to uh, incorporate difficult and complex words and the phrases to make them as a scholarly, but their listener uh, fails in understanding their message. So this is the basically problem of clarity, means the one is not clear. This sort of the choices of the difficult words and the phrases makes the our talk as ambiguous one. Then second is the conciseness, means keep it clear and it should be to the point. Concise means precise. If we are not clear, sorry, precise, uh, this is basically an art, and we should be an expert in this art, that we should be able to communicate our message in a very precise manner. As you know, Shakespeare has said that the brevity is the soul of wit. Only those people who are wise and witty, they remain precise, and those who are, nonsense, they keep on the floating from into the larger text as well. So avoid the filler words and the sentences. In this way, the listeners got confused that what are you talking about. You do not remain focused on your message. So try to be concise. The next one is the concrete, means be specific, not vague. Concrete means to the point as well. Use facts and the figures to support your message, rather going to draw some sort of the conceits. Conceits are the far-fetched ideas which makes the listener as confusing. For example, conceits has been used in the metaphysical poetry, but they are at the same time are difficult to understand as well. Then the next is the correct. Try to be. This is basically some sort of a relationship between the listener and the speaker. If you are not factual, if you are not accurate, then no one is not going to believe on what you are saying. So try to avoid the typos, use correct facts and the figures, use the right level of the language as well. For example, if you are conducting a research, you cannot say a lot of authors has said that. In that research, you have to mention that author who has said this one. For example, we say a lot of people are living in the below the line of poverty. This is a sweeping statement. For example, we should have to mention in our message that how many people, while it in our actual life it is practiced on, but people do not believe on such statements. Such statements are not true to data and accuracy, so they are they might be the floating statements as well. Then you have to be coherent one. Coherent is means that one sentence is linked to another, the other is linked to the next one is linked to the next one, means there should be a very coherence, cohesion and coherence in your talks. For example, if you are talking on the unemployment, then you should have to be from start to end, you must be coherent with that of the unemployment, rather than focusing on the irrelevant things as well. uh, Coherence is basically within the within among the sentences. There should be a coherence among your sentences. Coherence creates all that above: clarity, conciseness, correctness, and the concreteness. Then in this coherent, you do not have to make this a mess of the things, you have to make the sense of the things. So use the basically logic and avoid covering the too much. uh, Means try to be very much focused on. Usually in one of sentence, we were sitting in a competitive exam, and I wrote only 8 pages of 100 marks essay. There was an essay, and we were supposed to write in 3 hours. I wrote only 8 pages, and I got 60 score out of 100. There was one of my fellow, he wrote 36 pages and he got 13 marks. He was my friend. So I'm not going to make any statement about my coherence and the accuracy, but means try to be focused one, try to be precision, accuracy, concreteness, clarity, correctness, and coherentness gives the uh, reader a, a short canvas where he can measure your understanding. And all these factors contributes to the to make the next one, next C, which is a complete. It means there should be the completeness in your message as well. That's called a sufficiency, appropriateness. Does the message contain everything it needs to? This is basically the question. For example, if I write something to you, I should have to keep in mind that does it is sufficient, does it is complete, is it going to convey everything what I needed to convey, or if it is not complete, then definitely it would be creating a sense of ambiguity among my reader and audience. So then should be the courteousness as well. uh, Means we should be courteous and polite, and we should be representing goodwill in our communication as well. If this courteousness is not, this is basically tactful, and we it brings the readers to your message. So if one is clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, and complete, but he is not courteous, means communication, though communication may happen, but it would be the bad communication. So try to be avoid from the bad communication. When you have developed above six uh, uh, C's, means clear, concise, concrete, correct, coherent, complete, then for God's sake, try to be courteous as well, as this is not uh, collection of all C's, but it is most important of all these C's. I mean 7 C's. So, for your understanding, once again, I recount these 7 C's of communication. One is clear, concise, correct, concrete, coherent, complete, and the courteous. With this, goodbye.